I often think back to my own grandparents. Their gardens were truly magical places, not just neat rows of vegetables, you see. They were places full of life and stories. A kind of gentle wisdom seemed to grow there. It soaked into the soil with every season. You could feel it when you walked among the plants. It was a quiet, reassuring presence. A connection to something older, something real. They had a deep understanding of their own patch of earth. They observed the seasons closely. They listened to the whispers of the wind, and they carried knowledge passed down through generations. This knowledge was their most valuable tool. It guided their hands and their decisions. Growing food was essential, a way of providing. It meant sustenance, security, and satisfaction. They worked with nature, not against it. This patient partnership yielded wonderful results. Let's explore some of that timeless wisdom together. Think about what our grandparents chose to grow. They focused on reliable, productive plants. Potatoes were nearly always there, a good staple. Runner beans climbing up sturdy poles, cabbages, carrots, onions, the essentials. These were plants that would feed the family. They stored well over winter too. Every square foot of earth had to earn its keep. My grandmother loved her tomatoes. She'd grow them against a sunny wall. The scent of those tomato plants on a warm day. She chose varieties that did well in her soil. Not necessarily the biggest or the brightest, but the ones that tasted best and cropped reliably. They often saved their own seeds year after year. This was a vital part of their gardening. It meant their plants were perfectly adapted, suited to their specific local conditions, a true connection to the continuity of life, a simple, harmonious approach we can still use. How did they know when the time was right to plant? They were incredibly skilled observers of nature. They read the signs all around them. The feel of the soil was a key indicator. Was it warm enough, crumbly and workable? They trusted their senses, their experience. This connection told them more than any book could. They had their own local markers for timing, perhaps planting potatoes when the blackthorn flowered, or sowing beans when the oak leaves were a certain size. These weren't precise scientific rules, of course. They were guidelines honed by years of watching. They knew the patterns of their own local area, the subtle shifts that signaled a change in season. Some gardeners also paid attention to the moon. Planting by the phases of the moon is an ancient idea. It shows a desire to work in harmony with nature. The rewards are always sweeter for it. Their planting methods were straightforward, effective, often using simple, well-worn tools. A trusty spade, a sharpened hoe, their own hands. Soil preparation was always thorough. They knew that good soil was the foundation, the heart of any successful garden. Compost heaps were common, recycling kitchen scraps, turning waste into precious dark nourishment. They fed the soil, and the soil fed their plants. Watering was done with thought and care, not just a quick sprinkle with a hosepipe. They understood the importance of deep watering, encouraging roots to grow strong and search for moisture. Water was often a precious resource, so they used it wisely when it was truly needed. Pest control was managed without harsh chemicals. They relied on observation and manual methods, hand-picking caterpillars off the cabbages, encouraging natural predators like ladybirds and birds. Perhaps it's time we all got our hands a little dirtier.